Alright, everybody, we are here with breaking news this afternoon. As of 4:06 p.m., we have a deadly hailstorm outbreak currently all across portions of northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa here. We have a cluster of storms producing very large hail up to softball size. This is the same exact cell that started back here over towards Corrigan, where we were watching it as it was a little rain shower. But it developed so fast that not even a couple hours later, once again, we have a deadly hailstorm outbreak occurring across parts of northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa. We also just got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Illinois and Indiana. This is for the threats of quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts for Schneider and Shelby. So if you're in that area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. Again, to repeat, this is a deadly hailstorm currently impacting portions of Missouri and Iowa here. These are some big-time supercells dropping hail that has been reportedly to be larger than softball size at times, right? We've gotten photos of softball-sized hail. All these hail reports here within the past 30 minutes, these have all been big-time hail reports here from these storms, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Again, we are talking about parts of northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa being impacted by these deadly hailstorms. Areas like Ottumwa, Kirksville, areas in between, you guys are the main regions of concern right now. So if you're in these severe thunderstorm warnings, you need to be getting indoors and away from windows immediately, as these are some very destructive hailstorms that we were not expecting to develop this early into the afternoon here. All right, if you look, all these storms here, they say this is a destructive storm. We have several supercells producing life-threatening hailstones right now. These are just going to absolutely shatter windows. If you have any pets outside, you really need to be bringing them in. Pets and people outdoors will be severely injured. These are some very dangerous storms, right? We got one closer to Keosauqua. We got one closer to Memphis. All these areas here along the Missouri-Iowa state line need to be on high alert for these massive hailstorms, and these are going to continue to head eastward. These are going to go in towards areas like Keokuk, Fort Madison, eventually cross into Illinois here and approach areas like Macomb, Plymouth, and Galesburg, and continue likely to produce large to very large hail, potentially up to softball size or larger at times. So again, if you're in this area, you need to be getting indoors and away from windows as quick as possible. These are very dangerous storms. You cannot be outside in a hailstorm like this. It's an incredibly dangerous situation for all these people here. So again, if you're just now tuning in, we are covering a deadly hailstorm across portions of Missouri and Iowa. Yes, hail has been verified. Softball-sized hail has been confirmed. So, again, if you're in this area, you need to be getting indoors and away from windows immediately. We have got very strong storms out here along the Missouri-Iowa state line. And again, we're watching some other storms too. We got these out here in portions of Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan. And then we've also got some storms back closer to the Colorado-Kansas state line that have produced some land spouts. They've been doing some damaging winds and large hail. A train spotter reported a land spout that lasted almost 15 minutes close to it looks like Marienthal, Kansas there. So that's obviously a pretty dangerous situation where we've got, big-time land spouts popping up out of these. We got several storms producing damaging winds and large hail as well. So we got to look out for these, obviously. But again, right now our main focus needs to be our massive hailstorm here. We are getting softball-sized hail or larger currently out of some of these storms. Very dangerous situation here unfolding. I really was not planning on going live again this early. And again, this is why we were talking about this little rain shower out here in south central Iowa, because look at this. It's already evolved into so many of these clusters of dangerous supercells. So, very dangerous situation. Incredibly dangerous situation, I would say. It's a very large hailstorm, once again. This is the kind of hail that you'll experience, once in a lifetime. It really is. So, if you're out here, you gotta get indoors and away from windows. I'm also getting a report of some hail in Leoti, Kansas. This is a severe storm out here, yeah. So there was a report of hail in Leoti, Kansas, as that severe thunderstorm continues to roll through, but nothing like what we're seeing out here, obviously. Very dangerous storms here. Again, if you're just not tuning in, we have some extremely dangerous hailstorms currently smacking parts of northeast Missouri and southeastern Iowa. These are going to shatter windows. These are going to cause some serious injuries, most likely to people and animals that are outdoors, because softball-sized hail can fall at over 100 miles an hour. So imagine a softball being pitched at your face at 100 miles per hour. That's what we're talking about here. Now we have a new considerable severe thunderstorm warning for tennis ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds near Sublette. You need to be moving indoors and away from windows immediately. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning somewhere else, but I do not see where the blinking box is at. But we should have a new one. Oh, it's for Jackson County, Michigan. So if you're in Jackson, you need to be moving indoors. 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. This is not the new one. This has been here for a while. Man, this is gonna, whenever this was issued, it was like it's going to be in effect for like an hour and a half. That is a long time frame for a severe thunderstorm warning. So again, if you're out here, you got to be taking this seriously. Again, we've got a major hailstorm outbreak across parts of northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa here. We're watching these very closely as they continue to produce hail up to softball size. So, again, obviously, very dangerous storms here. Life-threatening storms, I would say. And even the National Weather Service is saying it. These storms have the life-threatening situation tag on them, as they are destructive. So, again, guys, if you're out here, you gotta be taking this seriously. Getting inside, away from windows. All this hail is falling at an alarming rate here. It's not good. Not good at all. So, let's go ahead and check out our storm up here closer to Shelby. Again, this storm's really just going to be a damaging wind and large hail maker. Appears to be rotating a little bit, but I think that might just be hail contamination. Yeah, there's a good chance that's just contamination there. But it's definitely producing some damaging winds and large hail, for sure. So, back out here to our major hailstorms. These do actually have some rotation with them. It's not nearly as dramatic as this. We're looking super high up into the atmosphere to see this because of our distance from these radar sites. But still, I mean, that's very clear rotation there. And they've been doing this for a while. No reports of tornadoes yet or anything. No tornado warnings. But still, something to watch out for there. Some of these storms could try and rotate. Alright, so our softball-sized hail tag has expired, so we are left with large apple-sized hail, which is still very destructive. If we take a look at the vertically integrated liquid, I mean, it is just off the charts. We got this cell maxing out, this cell maxing out, this cell maxing out, this cell maxing out, this cell maxing out. I mean, all these cells are just maxing out the vertically integrated liquid signatures here because they are producing some huge hail. Again, we are talking about hail up to large apple size. Previously, it was up to softball size. But as it continues here, we got to watch out for this because this is not a good situation for the folks out ahead of this thing. So if you know anybody in northeastern Missouri, southeast Iowa, western Illinois, make sure that you let them know what's going on here, as these are some pretty dangerous storms. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now. I think I saw it pop up here in Indiana, but then it did the thing where it disappears. So we'll wait for it to reappear. Maybe I'm mistaken, though. Yeah, I could be mistaken. Okay, so we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Bloomfield, Iowa here for the threats of ping-pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. So if you're in this area, again, you need to be moving indoors and away from windows immediately as these destructive hailstorms continue to batter southeastern Iowa and northeastern Missouri. So, again, very dangerous storms right now. Numerous reports of hail of baseball size or larger, again, up to softball size at times. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, again, you guys, if you're out here, this is one of the biggest hailstorms you will ever see in northeastern Missouri. This is something that we would see, like, in, Oklahoma. Again, big-time hailstorm outbreak with hailstones being reported to be up to softball size. And we're also going to see the threat of wind-driven hail, which is going to end up smashing windows. That's going to, again, severely injure anybody out here in northeastern Missouri or northwestern Iowa here. Or, sorry, southeastern Iowa. So, again, incredibly dangerous storms here that need watched very closely as they head eastward. And, again, we've also got ourselves other storms to watch all across the Midwest, really. We're talking about storms from Colorado all the way back into Michigan that are severe. So, we'll watch this. We do have some severe thunderstorm watches out, obviously. They're talking about the threat of some 80-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts, large apple-sized hail, and some tornadoes being possible today. And, we've already exceeded the large apple-sized hail threat. We've gone up to softball size before the event was even expected to start. So it's seeming like this is going to be quite an overachiever here, an overperformer, in terms of the hail threat at least, with a lot of these storms that we're going to see today. And that may mean some of our other threats could overperform as well. So, again, if you're just not tuning in, we have a massive hailstorm outbreak across portions of Iowa and Missouri. We are watching storms produce hail up to softball size here across some of the plains. So, if you're in these areas, you need to be getting indoors and away from windows. The greatest hail threat, it looks like at this point, is baseball size, no longer softball size. Or large apple size. But baseball-sized hail, guys, I mean, that's still very significant. And again, these storms are starting to rotate quite a bit, too. Like this one near Bible Grove, that's actually some pretty concerning rotation that we'll have to watch as it heads off to the east here. So, again, if you know anybody in this area, make sure to give them a call or text. Make sure that they're okay. Let them know that this is coming if they don't already somehow know. And again, this is going to continue to head eastward, so if you know anybody out here, you might as well send them this stream, or at least let them know what's happening across parts of northern and central Illinois as these continue to sweep through here. We're talking about areas like Macomb, Burlington, Galesburg, Canton, Bloomington, Rantoul, having the potential to see hail like this. So, again, if you know anybody out here, make sure to give them a call or text, because these are going to be some serious hailstorms. Even sending them this stream would help out a lot. By the way, if you're new here, I would appreciate it if you did subscribe, as our goal here on the channel is to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I do think that we can do it, but only with your guys' support. And if you like the stream, that would also help push this out towards more people. If you don't want to send this stream to somebody, at least clicking the like button would help out a lot, because this is going to send this stream out to more people. It tells YouTube that this is a good stream whenever you like it, and it's going to put it in more people's recommended tabs. So again, we have 14 severe thunderstorm warnings right now across portions of the Midwest and the plains, even stretching all the way back into the Ohio Valley. So we're talking about everywhere in between Colorado and Michigan today facing the threat of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. So, we gotta watch this closely. Sorry about that. We gotta watch this closely as these storms evolve. Alrighty. So, again, if you're just now joining us, we are covering a massive hailstorm outbreak here, one that people in this area will remember for quite a while. across parts of northeast Missouri and southeastern Iowa. Hail up to softball size has been reported, and we could still be seeing hail up to baseball size. And that kind of hail can fall out of the sky at 100 miles per hour, and if that lands right on top of your head, that's not going to be good. Oh my goodness. I don't know how I have 1,000 subscribers. Alright, anyway. Again, if you know anybody in this area, make sure to give them a call or text. Here in northeast Missouri or southeastern Iowa, let them know that this is coming. Make sure they're okay. As this is not showing any signs of stopping anytime soon. So, we just got a train of supercells here that, again, I'd like to remind you guys, evolved out of one little rain shower here in southern Iowa. That's why we have to pay attention to every rain shower today, because in less than an hour, it can do something like this. Be extremely dangerous for all these people out here. So, again, we'll continue to watch these storms as they continue to chug across portions of the Midwest. And then we're also, not ignoring all of our other folks. I know we got storms in Indiana, Michigan, all the way back out through Kansas and Colorado. And again, the town of Leoti is getting hit, or just got hit by some big-time hail. And they're about to get in on another hailstorm, it looks like. So, yeah, I mean, some of these areas of rotation could try and develop further and become tornadic. The thing is, though, these are not discrete supercells by any means. These are big-time clusters of storms, which is going to decrease the tornado threat with them, but it's going to increase the large hail and damaging wind threat. So, gotta look out for that. And again, look at this hail spike. That is the weirdest hail spike I've ever seen. It's because we're so far away from the radar site, but still. We have got to continue to watch these cells very closely, because, I mean, baseball-sized hail, 60 mile per hour damaging wind gusts, those are some serious, big-time thunderstorms out here. Our shower that we were watching, by the way, last stream, too, in Chicago, also ended up going pretty crazy. We were watching it near Joliet, and now we've got this big-time line of storms out here. It's not just from that shower, but still pretty crazy stuff, obviously. So, we'll watch this over the next several hours here. Once again, if you're just not tuning in, we are covering a big-time hailstorm impacting parts of northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa, as this severe weather outbreak is proving to be an overachieving one for sure. So, even earlier today we were talking about how this would be a pretty nasty outbreak. Well, now it's looking even more concerning, and we do have a mesoscale discussion here for parts of Kansas and Nebraska. This came out 21 minutes ago, but scattered thunderstorms are expected to develop within 1 to 2 hours, damaging wind gusts near 65 to 80 miles per hour, and hail up to golf ball to tennis ball size in diameter possible. Now, this includes areas like Beatrice, Nebraska, all the way back through Dodge City, Kansas. So in this area, there's a 60% chance of a severe thunderstorm or tornado watch being issued between now and the next 35 minutes. So we're probably going to see that watch get issued too. Again, we've already had land spouts and big-time thunderstorms out there as well, so it wouldn't surprise me. There's a reason this slight risk is shaped like this. It goes all the way back here. It's because there's going to be another mode of storms out here tonight. It's kind of shaped like a fish. Look, here's your little fins. Got a fishy slight risk. Alright, so again, we still have some destructive storms here. Across parts of Iowa and Missouri, our Bloomfield storm has been upgraded to baseball-sized hail. I believe earlier it was ping pong ball size, or tennis ball size, I think, but now it's baseball size. So again, these storms are continuing to strengthen here. This is a destructive storm for southern Davis County. And again, these are just going to take advantage of all this nice, juicy air out here and head eastward and continue to produce huge hail, some hurricane-force winds, and some big-time tornadoes as well, most likely. So, again, if you're out here today, you need to be paying attention to the weather. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning now for tennis bowl-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds for Memphis, Missouri, back into Cantrell, Iowa. This is a big one. If you're in this area, you need to get indoors and away from windows. The emergency alert system will be activated by this severe thunderstorm warning. So there's no reason that these people out here don't know about this. We have the alert out. So hopefully they should be, getting indoors. Even if, people don't watch TV or listen to radio and they don't know about the emergency alerts, they should still get a wireless emergency alert sent to their iPhone or Android. I could have just said smartphone. But anyway, again, these are some big-time storms that I will continue to watch here as they head eastward. Some nasty supercells just chugging along. Alrighty. Alrighty. So, again, if you're just now tuning in, I know we have a lot of viewers just now tuning in. I appreciate you joining us. We are tracking severe thunderstorms across parts of northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa, producing life-threatening conditions in terms of very large hail and some damaging wind gusts. So we have to watch these as these track eastward into portions of western and northwestern Illinois. And then we've also got to watch another mode of storms out here in Kansas and another mode of storms in Michigan. And even this little stray severe storm out here in Indiana, as it continues to produce some damaging wind gusts and large hail. And it looks like it could be rotating just a little bit there. Nothing crazy, though, not enough to produce a tornado or anything quite yet. So anyway, let's continue to watch this. And again, I mean, we got a massive lump of severe thunderstorm watches here that, again, go all the way from Michigan to Kansas. So if you're in this watch, you need to be weather aware today. Again, these watches include parts of Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, and Nebraska here. So those are the areas that we are mainly concerned about. Again, but to get more hyper-localized, right now we are talking about northeastern Missouri and southeastern Iowa in particular. But all across this watch box today, we're likely going to see some showers and thunderstorms develop. And some of them are going to become severe and try to produce some tornadoes, most likely. So that's what we're watching out for today. If you're new here, I would appreciate it if you clicked those like and subscribe buttons, as that helps push this stream out to more people. And overall, you guys are a big part of, helping people get this information, this life-saving information out to them. To take a look at the newest run of the HRRR here, we see that this is what 4 p.m. looked like, and it's saying that this is what 5 p.m. is going to look like. So we're going to see more of these storms here in Iowa and Missouri. We're going to see more of these storms develop in parts of Kansas and try to become severe. And we're also going to see this line of storms continue across parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan. But if we play this out into this evening, around 6 p.m., this is where the tornado threat is going to be the greatest for portions of Iowa and Missouri. If you're out here in this blue circle, you got to watch out. There's going to be a big-time chance for tornadoes, some damaging wind gusts, and also large hail. But as we go into 7 p.m., that's when the damaging wind and large hail threat really gets going here. But the tornado threat, once again, is going to lie a little bit earlier than that, around 5 to 6 p.m. So we'll continue to watch this all throughout the afternoon and evening time hours. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning back into Kansas for another storm heading towards Leote. So if you're in Leote, you need to get inside and away from windows. Some ping pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds are approaching, which will be even bigger than this last hailstorm that you just got, where you got some quarter-sized hail. So Davenport in the path. Yeah, I think Davenport's definitely going to have a shot for some of those storms today. Davenport is in that severe thunderstorm watch. We'll go ahead and take a look at the HRRR really quickly and talk about Davenport in particular. So you're going to get some storms here in Davenport, it looks like at about 8 p.m. Some pretty nasty ones, some big-time hail and wind producers, maybe an isolated tornado threat. 9, 10 p.m., those are going to continue, but mainly off to the southeast of Davenport, and then after we get past 11 p.m., it's all out of the Davenport area. So and it's looking like they're going to drop the severe thunderstorm warning for our Indiana storm and keep it at a special weather statement for some 50-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-sized hail rather than 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. So it's getting a little weaker, but it's still something to watch there in northwest Indiana, because that's going to surprise probably quite a few people, just that stray severe thunderstorm out there. And, I mean, it's connected to a line of storms, but this line of storms really isn't that strong overall. Yeah, good idea. Good idea to keep your alerts on today. If you have no-weather radios, make sure they have batteries and everything, Make sure that you got a charged device that has access to the Wi-Fi or cellular data at all times if you're in this enhanced risk today, so that you can prepare for whatever kind of weather heads your way. And again, we're going to be here live helping everybody through this in times of need. So if you know anybody in this area, I'd appreciate it if you went ahead and sent them this stream. Again, that helps get the word out. Because, maybe you send it to them and, they post it on Facebook and then everybody sees it. So that'll help out a lot of people, obviously. So, just spreading the word is a big part of getting these streams out there, making sure that everybody knows what's going on. But yeah, even just you guys tuning in is helping this get pushed further out into the algorithm. So I appreciate that, obviously. Again, as we continue to watch these massive hailstorm outbreaks here in portions of Missouri and Colorado, or Missouri and Iowa, still seeing some baseball-sized hail, guys. We are not done. These are still some life-threatening conditions out here. So, again, all those red boxes out there, those are your severe thunderstorm watches. This is the general area today where we could see some severe thunderstorms develop and try to plant tornadoes. So, that's the area that we're concerned about for the most part. But still, some areas outside of the watch may still be concerning, and some areas may get a watch, they just don't have one yet, like the Kansas area. I definitely think parts of Kansas anyway, are going to get another watch here on top of the one that they already have out here. Well, it'll be in a different area, but you know what I mean. So, and again, that new watch in Kansas and Nebraska will probably come in within the next 24 minutes here. Again, there's a 60% chance of that, so it is a good possibility. Alrighty. So, again, if you're just now joining us, thank you for tuning in. We have got some significant severe weather unfolding across portions of the Midwest. Mainly, right now, we're watching Missouri and Iowa. But later into this evening, we're going to be watching all over the place. And they did just drop that severe thunderstorm warning in Indiana. But, or no, it's back. You guys saw that. It went away. Okay, it'll go away again in a second. But anyway, we're going to be watching all over the Midwest tonight. We're talking about Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio. All these areas here are going to have the chance for some severe thunderstorms and significant severe thunderstorms tonight. So we got to keep an eye out for them. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning out here right smack dab in the middle of Kansas for the Galatia area. This is almost a stationary storm here. It's not moving very fast, but it's going to be heading towards Stickney and Sault-Saint as well as Galatia. So if you're along Highway 281 here, make sure that you are moving indoors. That's some 60-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-sized hail that you are about to have the potential to see out there. If you're out driving, just, stay safe. Avoid the highway here. There's probably going to be interstates. Travel along the highway. Did I just say there's going to be interstates driving along the highway? I meant semis. If I said interstate, sorry. I was thinking because there's also an interstate here, but it's not really in the warning box. Alright, so, again, we are watching some more of these hailstorms here. As they continue to just chug along and refuse to die out. And we have a new severe thunderstorm warning now for portions of Kansas here. This is going to be in effect for the next hour and 7 minutes for the Sharon Springs area. If you're in Sharon Springs, you need to be inside. Some quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds may occur with this here. It looks like we got a pretty impressive hail core there over Sharon Springs. I wouldn't rule out some isolated ping-pong to golf ball-sized hail. We got another new severe warning. Our new severe thunderstorm warning is for parts of Indiana and Michigan. This is for the Elkhart area. Some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts may occur with this big-time thunderstorm you got here. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are moving indoors. But again, our main focus right now is still centered around Missouri and Iowa. So right now we got 14 severe thunderstorm warnings. We do have a flash flood warning down in Broward County, Florida, as the horrendous flooding continues in the Fort Lauderdale area. So hopefully everybody out there staying safe. They probably know at this point it's not good to mess around and drive out there after what they've been through over the past few days. So that's something at least. Some good news is they'll probably take better precautions now. Because, there were people just driving out there in a foot of rain, and, that's not going to end well for anybody. For you or the people that have to come out and save you, And our baseball-sized hail warning is finally gone. We're down to tennis ball size, which is still very big hail. I don't want to, make it seem like it's over. This is still a massive hailstorm here. Oh, bless me. But it's toning down a little bit. Not much, but it is a little bit. So, trying to see if we have any other storms that we really need to start watching pretty closely. Again, I'd watch this line here in Indiana and Michigan. well, really, it's kind of two separate lines, but this cluster is probably going to develop into one big line as it heads eastward and southeastward. It's probably not going to last very long because this environment isn't quite primed enough for, big time severe weather development, but it'll stick around there for a little bit, chugging across parts of Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan potentially. So, again, the big time tornado threat is going to start around 5 to 6 p.m. That's going to be the best time frame for some tornadoes. And, I mean, we're getting there. Around 5 to 7 p.m. is the greatest corridor. We are about to enter that. So we're probably going to see some of these supercells start to develop a greater tornado threat. We're also probably going to see some new cells just pop up in general here across parts of Iowa and Missouri. Once again, some of these areas that just got storms, get ready for round 2. We're probably going to see something there. If things play out how the HRRR is predicting, and the NAM really too. They're just predicting at different time frames. The NAM was saying it would be a little bit earlier, I believe, so in this instance, the HRRR would have been correct. The NAM, though, I mean, there's still some hailstorms. The NAM didn't do a terrible job. As of 8 minutes ago, we have a hen-egg size report of hail here out of Greensburg, Missouri. So this damaging, dangerous storm here is continuing to produce some big time hail in northeast Missouri. Sorry. Ugh. So, again, if you're just now tuning in, we are covering severe weather across parts of the United States today. Once again, and I'll tell you guys right now, it's not stopping anytime soon. We're going to be here with you tomorrow. We're going to be here with you Saturday, and we're going to be here with you Sunday, and then also Monday. Probably Tuesday as well, and Wednesday. Next Thursday, little shaky, but, I mean, we've been live every day for the past few months, and it doesn't really seem like that's going to stop anytime soon, so we'll probably see something on Thursday. Unless I've been, like, sick or on vacation or something, then I haven't gotten live, but it's not like there's been it's not like the severe weather has been not there. That's not the problem, so. We do have all of our storm chasers on these big-time hailstorms out here in Missouri, including Vince Welty, Brandon Kopic, and Corey Gherkin. Let's kind of just take a brief peek here at Brandon Kopic's feed. Wow. Look at that. Amazing storm structure. Alrighty. Welp. Nothing much to say other than just continuing to watch these massive hailstorms chug along through northeast Missouri, southeast Iowa. You already know the drill. They're about to move into Illinois, and they're probably going to continue to produce some damaging winds and large hail. Alright, see ya, Alan Crow. I don't know if that's a new message. For some reason, my messages have been popping up late for me in chat. But, if the woe was for Brandon Kopic stream, then yeah, I'd agree. Let's look at Corey Gherkin. And Vince Welty. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Iowa and Missouri. Keosauqua, Donaldson, Cahokia, some lime-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts are approaching. So if you're in this area, you need to get indoors and away from windows immediately. I mean, even a storm like this is going to be the hailstorm of a year for this specific area. So, even weakening, these are still big-time hailstorms. And there we go. We have that brand spanking new severe thunderstorm watch in Kansas and Nebraska. Actually, that's 5 minutes ago, but still, holy cow. Alright, big time threats with this severe watch, so we're going to go ahead and go over those. They have not popped up yet. Okay. So, Scattered hail up to large apple size possible. Uh, Widespread gusts up to 85 miles per hour likely. That's a big time wind tag there. If it was much higher, then this would be a PDS, severe thunderstorm watch. So we gotta watch for some significant damaging winds here. And then also frequent lightning possible. There's not much of a tornado threat with this, so instead they just said frequent lightning possible. So 1.6 million people are included in that brand new severe thunderstorm watch that includes areas like Wichita, Garden City, Liberal, and Hayes in Kansas. They did not extend it into southeast Nebraska like they were talking about potentially doing. So that'll be in effect until 11 p.m. Central. Alrighty. Alright, welcome back, Sam. Again, if you're just not tuning in, we have a brand spanking new severe thunderstorm watch just issued for parts of Kansas. Widespread gusts up to 85 miles per hour are likely with this. Very high end severe thunderstorm watch in terms of the wind threat with it. And we're continuing to see these supercells here in Missouri and Iowa produce hail up to tennis ball size. Alrighty. So, again, we have a stretch of severe thunderstorm watches going all the way from Michigan to Kansas, the western part of Kansas even, the western edge. So, we're talking about a widespread severe weather outbreak today. And the biggest hail we're seeing now looks like to be lime-sized hail. The tennis ball-size hail one got downgraded to quarter size. So some lime-sized hail may still be occurring with some of these cells out here along the Mississippi River, across parts of Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. So, what shall we do? Alrighty. Kind of just give a wide view here for a little bit. If anybody has any questions in chat, now would be the time to ask them before things really kick off here. If anybody has any questions while we wait, we'll just kind of look at the wide view here of these storms. So, again, any questions, feel free to ask them. But we'll just kind of chill here and watch this explosive convection. Normally I would end off a stream at this point whenever things start getting less active, but I do think the tornado threat's going to ramp up, very soon. So, if it doesn't, we'll end. If we don't start seeing things pop up in the next 15 to 20 minutes. But I think something's going to happen here. Where's the highest tornado risk tonight? That is actually a good question. I think it would be across parts of maybe south central Iowa and north central Missouri, maybe into northeast Missouri and southeast Iowa. Now, it would not be with this cluster of storms. It would be if we get another one to develop back here. These storms are not discrete enough to produce supercells. They are supercells, but not discrete enough to produce tornadoes or anything. But let's actually see here. Do we have any popping up yet? Not really. This is really what we're watching. These will be the storms of the day. So. Let's see here. Again, we got some very strong storms continuing here. Across Iowa and Missouri. About to cross into Illinois. You know what? We could actually take a look at the SPC's tornado risk. So this is where the SPC thinks the greatest tornado risk is. They think it's going to be, northeast Missouri, southeast Iowa, and northwest Illinois. Now, I don't think there's a great tornado threat for northwest Illinois. I think there's a high-end damaging wind threat for northwest Illinois. I think it's going to be a very high chance for some damaging winds of 70 to maybe even an isolated gets up to 80 miles per hour around Peoria. As all these storms out here eventually are going to connect as we get more and more of them to pop up in here. And we will see a big line of wind charge across parts of the Midwest here, mainly Illinois, though, actually. Again, the reason the enhanced risk goes back into Missouri and Iowa is because we could see some cells of their own develop back here. But the big line of storms is really going to be kind of like that, where it just kind of clips Iowa and Missouri. Yeah, I mean, I do think there's a very high damaging wind threat for this area here. I'd say, including areas like Bloomington, Peoria, Pekin, Canton, Macomb, and Galesburg, potentially, as well as Burlington. And then the greatest tornado threat lies back here, towards areas like Kirksville, Chillicothe, Trenton, Centerville, and Ottumwa. So, hope the line forms south of you. I think, unfortunately, you're probably going to get some storms, but yeah, I mean, the line's going to form back here. I know it was kind of pointing around down here, but that's where it's going to be at its most intense, I think. I think that it's going to form all the way back here, closer to portions of eastern Iowa. I hate to burst your bubble, but so we do have the new run of the HRRR coming out. This is what things are looking like right now. Yeah, here we go. We can actually use this as a wide view of the radar all across the country right now. It's a little low res, but still. This is what it looks like if you turn on the smoothing on the reflectivity anyway with the single site radars. But yeah, this is right now. So we'll look at it like this here. So again, I mean, just look at some of these bursts of convection across parts of Michigan and Indiana. These bursts, I think, are going to continue to occur across parts of northern Illinois for a little bit, but then eventually our line of storms from Iowa is going to catch up and swallow all of them and become pretty strong. And then again, this out here, this is a whole separate severe weather event. This is completely different. I don't want to make it sound like these are two. I don't want to make it sound like this is one big severe weather event. I mean, it is, but for two different storm systems, really. And look at this. Look at these nasty supercells down in South Florida. This is why we keep getting flash flooding. And by the way, we have a new flash flood warning for Miami. Both these in Miami and Fort Lauderdale are life-threatening now. You're all prepared there? That's great. You know what they say, don't be scared, be prepared. Definitely applies in this situation. Alright, so we may have some sort of convection trying to get going here. Our tornadic storms may be trying to get going in parts of southern Iowa now. But let's actually look at the single site radar and see if we can see those. I mean, yeah, but these are just itty-bitty sprinkles, really. I think it's going to be a little bit until these really develop. Oh, wow. Barton and Russell counties, Kansas. 70-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are occurring with this storm now near Galatia and Stickley. Galatia. This was about 9 minutes ago, but still. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Wind damage is also likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Locations impacted include Millburger, Galatia, and Susank, as well as Stickney. But Stickney's not a town, so that's great. Stickney looks like a little building there. Like a township or something. Alright. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but according to the Storm Prediction Center, they do not have a 10% significant tornadoes, so why are you saying there's a possibility of a strong tornado? Well, I mean, I'm saying big-time tornado risk, but I mean strong tornadoes. That's not really what I meant. If I said, oh, you mean in my title? Yeah, I did put strong tornadoes. I mean, there's a possibility if these cells do become discrete enough that they could produce a strong tornado. Maybe I should add strong tornadoes possible to the title. But I do think that we may see a strong tornado. Even if we don't, though, I mean, we're still probably going to see just some moderately strength tornadoes in general. But yeah, that's actually a good point. I probably should change my title from strong to possibly strong. This is just the reason I have it saying strong is because I have a bunch of different layouts that I use for my titles, if that makes sense. So if it's a minor severe weather outbreak, it says damaging winds, large hail, and possible tornadoes. If it's kind of a moderate level severe weather outbreak, I put destructive winds, very large hail, and strong tornadoes. And then if it's a high end severe weather outbreak, I put hurricane force winds, huge hail, and violent tornadoes. But yeah, that's a good point. I should probably remove strong tornadoes, but yeah, that's a good question. I'll put strong tornadoes possible, because I do believe one's possible, but I shouldn't say that one's going to happen. I mean, technically they're always possible, but there's a little bit better of a chance today that we see a strong tornado than on most days. Excuse me. Alrighty. Okay, we are now at the 5 o'clock hour. I think we're going to end off the stream here because we're not really seeing that development quite yet. I wouldn't, entirely lose confidence that these aren't going to develop. I still think they probably are, but it's looking like it's going to take a little while longer than we thought. So I'm going to go ahead and end off the live stream here. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this massive hail event here across Missouri and Iowa. And I will be back later, so